Howdy, y'all. Stock Warden here, back with another Palantir Technologies video. And today, we're going to be talking about Palantir's new aspirations for their stock growth, along with some more contracts and some more feedback. So currently, CFRA is maintaining a buy on Palantir, even though they dropped their price target down to $110 a share. Currently, we're at 93.78, what we ended up ending this previous week on. But they're still projecting the 110 because their 2026 sales projection is still way above average and at $4.8 billion. And also, with all the uncertainty going around in the government, along with Doge, they also believe that Palantir is becoming less and less vulnerable to Doge with contracts, which, as I had mentioned before, even though they cut the defense budget, Palantir's defense budget is going to be something unmatched because they're getting a part not only of the defense budget, but they're also getting budgets from other companies as well, which is completely separate from Doge, because Doge is only looking for the money being spent from the government, but they don't look at what other businesses are doing with their money. So with Palantir having their contracts between Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and also Northrop Grumman, they're being able to be shielded from a lot of the Doge cuts. So it still makes Palantir look even more profitable, and the uncertainty is coming less and less, where Palantir is showing once again that they're almost going to be completely immune to all the craziness going on in the market from the government's perspective. So, but the next thing is that Anthropic is going to end up leveraging Palantir's Fed Start offering, which in turn would make Anthropic's Claude application available to the government sector. Now, Anthropic's Claude is specifically designed for organizations looking for a secure AI solution, and the application will be hosted on the Google Cloud, bridging infrastructure and security for the government. Therefore, that means that Anthropic is more or less getting a contract with Palantir, but they're more or less being able to leverage their FedStart is more or less meaning that they're able to use their software in partner with Palantir to continue with their security and making a better operating system for the government to use that is more safe and effective, especially in the private sectors, because it has multiple different safety level clearances from 1 all the way up to 6, which is just that much more encryption and heavier firewalls to keep unwanted access from getting access to all of that sensitive information. So with that, that's just another partnership that Palantir has been able to secure on top of all the great news that they've had ahead. And then I did make a previous video about this one, but SpaceX is the front runner to build the Golden Dome system, and they're partnering with Palantir for their software. Now, I did go back a couple videos ago, and I had a whole ordeal on Palantir's system and how it's going to affect with the Golden Dome and what the Golden Dome was going to be. So you can definitely go back and check that one to get a little bit more in depth on it. So the serious issue with the Golden Dome is being looked at completely through a technological space in space. So with Palantir getting in partner with SpaceX, those are two major players that's going to end up bringing this to light, because SpaceX is going to provide the satellites and possibly the missiles and lasers, and Palantir is going to make the entire system workable and operable. So that brings Palantir to being a huge player once again in the Golden Dome and securing just that much more for a defense contract. even more so with the government yet again than just your normal everyday contract that they've been getting for, just a measly quite a few $1,000,000. But to continue on the Golden Dome, just a short little explanation if you don't know. The Golden Dome is going to be a missile defense system that's going to cover all of America, to where if any other missile, cruise missile, or nuclear weapon that's fired from any other country, whether it be North Korea, Iran, Russia, China, which everybody is kind of with tensions with because they believe that it's possible that one of them could end up pressing that red button. But I digress. That's something that is been talked about for many, many years, and it hasn't happened. And I don't believe, in my personal opinion, that it would ever end up coming to that. I don't think anybody wants that either. But regardless, if the Golden Dome is created and it is successful in being created properly with the way that they're going about all this, then the missile is going to come into the specific vicinity of America, and the satellites are going to end up detecting it way before it gets actually to us, to where the satellite will either have a guided missile or a laser or some type of stop force to be able to go down and stop that missile in its tracks before it can come down and harm any American citizens. So that is something that is taken top priority inside the government, especially for Donald Trump wanting better security for America, because that is something that they've talked about for many, many years, even decades, even that they've talked about during the space race. And now it's finally going to come to light. So, with all that being said, Palantir, once again, is just digging in that much more and showing just how much more relevant they are in the government space, in the military space, in the private sector. And it's just going to continue to drive this stock higher and higher and be able to continue building their wealth, building their growth. And honestly, it doesn't seem like there's no end in sight. I know y'all probably get tired of me saying it, but they haven't slowed down yet. So, and if you look currently, we just finished off the week with a little bit of a lull. We came over and we tested the resistance here right at about $97 and $98. And with a price target of 110, once we break this resistance here, then there's no telling where we're going to end up going to, because right now we're in a deep V coming in right here at 96, 99, 97, where you're going to end up, it pulled down to right about 65, 66 a share, which ended up contested this resistance over here. So with the resistance being down here, we ended up not having to break that section where we were able to continue. Instead of going down, we were able to continue coming back up. So now the question for this week is, with the good news that's came in and with all the new news cooling off the uncertainty of everything, then this stock's going to end up leveling out and not being controlled by the market in its entirety. So I hope y'all liked the video. Hope y'all ended up getting more informed and more news up to date. So if you have any other stocks that you want me to double check on, and if you have a specific one that you like, leave it down in the comment section below. If you like the video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all the stocks and all the news. So this is the Stock Warden riding off. See y'all come back now, you hear?